Hi guys, my name is Ernest. If you're new here, I explore all the things personal development, personal finance, and how to improve your financial literacy. So welcome to my channel. Today I would like to talk to you about 6 things that improved my monetary life. I believe it is important for each and every one of us to be in control of their finances. People don't have to depend on the government for financial support. They don't have to. Or do, yes, I understand. But there is also a way. If you can start actively doing something about your life much earlier. Certainly, that is not to say that people don't have to depend on the government. Circumstances are different, but for some people can actually do something. Today, I would like to talk about 6 things that changed my monetary life. One of the things that you find is that if you don't take an intentional act of changing your monetary life, nothing changes. Everything, as John Maxwell says, if you take an axe each and every day and you swing it against a tree and hit the same spot, after some time, the tree will fall. If you want to do something intentional about your monetary life, you need to take an intentional action so that you're able to actually transform your life. Absolutely nothing changes unless you really do something. I'm talking about my story. I'm talking about my own experience. Certainly, you will have a different experience. The first point I would like to bring to your attention is the knowledge gap. You need to close the knowledge gap between what you were when you left school and what you are when you begin your employment. Once you come out of school, you certainly realize that you have a big knowledge gap. But realistically, you'll be shocked once you go into the industry that there are a lot of things that you don't know. You don't know how to read a contract of employment. You don't know how to analyze it. You don't know how to deal with the banking connection and the mortgage. You don't know how to deal with the banking connection with any loans that you might need. You don't know how to invest in property. You don't know a lot of things. So you certainly find out that in as much as you have a degree or something, but you actually can't do anything. You are actually a novice. So the most important thing, as soon as you come out of school or as soon as you realize you don't have knowledge on certain aspects, you need to be intentional about your investing your time and effort into getting to understand. Understand involves you reading, involves you even sometimes going back to school, but even just asking the people that really knows the subject that you want. So you need to close that knowledge gap because it doesn't come natural. You don't get it or acquire it naturally. You have to exert yourself and get the information. The second point that I want to bring to your attention also is the fact that as soon as you are in industry, you find that people have a lot of opinion. Most people have an opinion on you about what you are not, what you can do. They lay a lot of judgments. So sometimes if you are not used to people judging you, you can actually draw back or you shrink back and you feel out of place. So whenever people make a judgment on what you're trying to do, for example, in my case, when I was trying to start a business, people started saying, no, you can't do this. You're not able to run this kind of business. But don't let that pull you back because other people's opinion of you is none of your business. Les Brown actually says other people's opinion of you is none of your business. So don't pay so much attention to what people say about you because everyone has an opinion on you. You barely find that most of the things that you want to do, you really find that most people don't necessarily agree with you or are different, and obviously you should expect that they have a different opinion, but their opinion should not stop you from doing what you need to do. So go ahead and do what you need to do because that is your own opinion. Everything that you are doing is your own construction. Let it be your own construction. Don't be brought down by the opinions of others. Certainly allow people to contribute to whatever they need to contribute if you've asked them questions, but be yourself and take control of the final decision that you make. If you decide that they are going to tell you what needs to happen, you will never get anywhere. So you will never be able to do anything. So don't be pulled back by the opinions of others. Another important point that I wanted to share is that when I started my training business, one of the things that I found that I went around looking for funding and looking for ideas, and banks and institutions declined giving me funding because they didn't see the scope of the business. They didn't understand. They didn't believe it was a useful business. So what is important is that you might find that as many people as possible don't necessarily agree with you. They don't necessarily give you the funding, or they don't want to partner with you because they don't understand what you want to do, or they don't agree. Just expect that when you go out there looking for collaborations, looking for funding, looking for for anything, many people might not agree with you. And that is natural. And that is common. When that occurs to you, you need to proceed and move forward. Continue to look for people who are willing to work with you. Sometimes when you fail to do something and get approval from somewhere else, there is always somebody who is waiting to approve you. But you just need to keep on keeping on, or keep on moving. There is always somebody who is somewhere out there. Carry that hope. Have that hope that you will find that person. You need to exert yourself. You need to try several times. It's uncomfortable, certainly, but it's something that distinguishes a person who is determined to do something and a person who is merely trying. The other point is about money management. Realistically, when you start working, most of the time you are not familiar to handling money. So what you tend to do is, what I used to do is that when I get money and I get paid, I would spend all the money that I have. And most instances, I would end up without money, even before the end of the month. So I would have too much money at the end of the money. Certainly, that's not a good thing. The first thing that you need to learn to do is learn to handle money, learn to read financial information, learn to understand how to look after money and it will look after you. Learn to invest, understand the jargon. It's not just also about saving, it's also about how much you actually save. Because every time you earn money and you pay it out to somebody because you are buying this thing or buying that thing, you are actually sending your wealth to somebody else. So you need to, yes, certainly pay for the things that you really need. I can assure you, you need to buy the things that you really need. Things like accommodation, like food, those are really necessary. But also make sure that you keep as much as possible with yourself so that you are able to invest it for your future and grow your money. So it's very important that you actually look after money, look after what comes into you, because you only build wealth when you actually keep what you're earning. And then I also had this problem, fifth point, the fear of missing out. People call it FOMO. Every time I was saving money, and that meant I'm not doing something else. Because every time you save money, it means it's a sacrifice. It means that you can't do certain things because you are saving that money, because you want to invest that money, because you have a future plan that you want to fund. So what I struggled with most was the fact that because I'm saving money, I can't go where other people who are not going where I am going are going. In other words, I'm saying I can't do what they are doing, because basically they might be spending their money and it appears at the moment that they are enjoying life and I'm not. So certainly that bothered me quite a lot. In such instances, I struggled with the fear of missing out, that my friends are enjoying a party, my friends are enjoying a foreign trip, my friends are going somewhere and I'm constantly at home and not doing anything. So as soon as I learned that I don't have to be where they are, I don't have to be doing what they are doing, my life immediately changed. I began to have self-control. I began to feel that I'm in control of myself. But also it comes with maturity. As you grow older, you begin to have a little bit more self-control and determination of what you want to do with your money, where you want to be, and what you want to do tomorrow in terms of your daily activities. I struggled with at the beginning, but over time, I can say I'm pretty good now. I can determine what I need to be doing. My last point is about analyzing things. Every time I wanted to do something, I would sit down, try and plan and analyze the cost, analyze this, analyze the risk, analyze the opportunities, and I would dwell on it for a long time, think through things. Sometimes analyzing things can create a paralysis of analysis. And I'm one of the people that were paralyzed with over-analyzing things because I wanted to take minimal risk. But sometimes when you're doing business, you need to be prepared to take risks. You can't always get all the decisions right. Sometimes you don't get the decision right. You must accept that doing business comes with risk. But certainly, it's important for you to consider things for a long time, but don't be paralyzed. Jim Rohn says, if you sit on the fence for a long time and you delay making a decision, it doesn't matter whether you fall on the right or the left side of the fence, because time will pass away while you are sitting on the fence. So you might as well fall on any side. If you fall on the wrong side, after a short time, you should be able to find out that you have fallen on the wrong side and you need to stop and go to the right side. So over-analysis can actually lead to paralysis. So make sure that you take reasonable time to think through things, but as soon as you have made a decision and you think you are pretty much right, you need to move on and quickly move. And that's very important, to move as quickly as possible, because opportunities wait for no man. As we saw in the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, we found out that the guy who was supposed to buy sheep, he procrastinated buying sheep that night. But the following day, the same relationship that he would have bought for a much cheaper price were offered a much higher price, so he couldn't even compete. He was outbidded. So it's very important for you to, when you find a good offer and a good opportunity, think through the offer, take necessary risk, and also take reasonable time to analyze. And once you are satisfied, quickly move on to making a decision and close. These are some of the things that I struggled with at the beginning when I started my financial journey. It's important for you to think through things, and it's important for you to learn from your mistakes. It's important for you to consider what you are doing, because it's very important that you think through what you are doing and identify where risks are, but it's not really good to needless take long and unnecessary time. So this is my story. If there is something to learn from it, do take the lessons. You don't have to make the same mistake that somebody else made. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Then you have an opportunity to listen to the next video. Thank you.